Okay, let's just do this right now. PSA from Two Fat Guys in the Movies. If you're going to do a movie with subtitles, shut the fuck up and don't read the goddamn lines.
So when I put the subtitles in this video, for those who are hearing impaired, you don't want me to read the subtitles as I'm saying them?
No, yeah, don't.
Don't do that.
No, because
okay. Yeah, holy crap, dude! At one point, I was gonna start throwing popcorn in his ass.
I was about ready to throw your soda pop at him. Not mine, because mine's a special cup.
Yeah, special. It looks like a regular cup to me, but
no.
Cup review time.
It's I
don't know what the fuck it is. He just liked to spend extra money. So best Godzilla movie ever.
I was obviously 98 because why? America.
I was gonna say the Netflix movies, but
I never actually watched them.
Well, I watched the first two. The second one was kind of lame. I would say I've seen almost. I know there's probably one or two random Godzilla movies that I've missed because they either didn't get dubbed into. Well, I shouldn't say dubbed, but they weren't brought over to America for whatever reason, or I just missed them.
And obviously the special person wasn't there to read, what was going on to you.
Yeah. No, so most of the Godzilla movies, the early 80 ones are really bad. The English dub ones are pretty bad. That's always the meme.
What do you expect from a dude walking around a big rubber suit?
No, I mean like in terms of I'm talking about like the English dub version, like that's where that meme comes from, where people are talking, but then what they're saying doesn't match their mouth movement because they didn't bother. You know how okay, so here's the example.
I've seen enough subtitle movies that you can...
Well, like in Japanese, when they translate anime and sometimes they change the words in the English dub and people get pissed off about it. It's because the mouth movement doesn't match what they're saying.
How funny would it be to see?
They have to change the words.
How funny would it be to see, say give me a movie about America.
Captain America.
Okay, how funny? How funny would it be to see how that would get dubbed into? I mean, I know Japanese is still the run English.
Actually, here's what's funny. I know what you're going with that. They dub it over in Japanese. They don't.
I know.
They just put the subtitles on there.
I know.
Okay, but how funny would that be?
Yeah,
Captain America.
And he's like
Baka.
Yeah, actually, I do know that word.
What is it?
Stupid.
Yep.
Or so is the Aho.
Wow. Nissan. Oh wait, that's a whole different. That's a whole different anime.
No, because like I said, Aho and Baka mean the same thing.
Yeah.
But I remember years ago I'd seen that somewhere. If you say it in the wrong part of Japan, you could get your ass kicked.
Yeah. So obviously we saw Godzilla Minus One, and can I say Godzilla is definitely -1 after the end of that movie. Obviously, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while or our videos for a while, you would know that we spoil these things. So if you have not seen Godzilla Minus One and get pissed off because we spoiled it, okay.
Well,
I'm sorry, generation.
If you haven't seen it by now, we're a week late seeing it. So...
We are a week late seeing it.
Because somebody wasn't
feeling good. Anyway, so we saw Godzilla Minus One.
Yeah,
hands down was probably one of the better. It was probably one of the best Godzilla movies I've seen in a long time.
We talked about it at the end of the movie. Oh, by the way, there's no end credit scene, so don't stick around.
There's no
there's a scene, but just before the credits roll.
Yeah, well, the director said they didn't even think about putting an after credit scene because one, they don't want to promise something that may not happen. Because here's an example. For those wondering, this movie has nothing to do with Shin Godzilla. So those of you who don't know, they did. I think it was 2016. No, 2014. We did the American Godzilla, which we have now as the monsters.
No, that's the 98 Godzilla.
No. You're talking about I'm talking about the one that's coming out next year.
Oh, right.
That the first one came out in 2014, and I think 2015 or 2016 was Kong Skull Island, and then 2017. Either 2017 or 2018 was King of the Monsters, and then 2020 was supposed to have been Godzilla versus Kong, but then it got pushed back to 2021 because of obviously. And then next year is it Kong X Godzilla? Is it Godzilla X Kong or is it Godzilla and Kong? Is that how the X is supposed to be? The New Empire or whatever. So yeah, it's really cool to be a Godzilla fan right now because this movie was super serious, and I know some people who this movie is Japanese. It came out in Japan in November, I think.
It's an $11 million budget.
$11 million budget. This thing's probably made like stupid money.
Because I actually read
stupid money because they already made its budget back in Japan.
And I also was to say that I went to #1 last week or something. So and that's like first time in a long time that a Japanese Japanese movie that was not dubbed hit #1 in the States.
I think for a Godzilla movie, if it's done in Japan, just because I don't know if Shin Godzilla came to theaters or not, but I saw it at home because it was on Netflix. I think is where it was put on. I know a lot of people didn't like Shin Godzilla because they kind of changed the lore of Godzilla a bit, like because he came on as like this like slug looking thing, and as it progressed, they're like, oh, he can't stand up, he's too big, he has too much mass, he wouldn't be able to stand up, and then he stood up, and everybody's like, oh shit.
I don't know. It's never.
And then he had like his atomic. This Godzilla. Now, granted, I love how they do the atomic breath in the US version. It's Universal, right? Or anyways, Universal's Godzilla, the one that we've been getting lately. I love how he does the atomic breath in that. But damn,
yeah, this one
was badass. Like it makes so much sense.
His back spikes
just pop out as they charge it. It's like a USB charger.
It's like if you're familiar with Pokemon, it's like a charged attack.
Yeah.
Where basically once it uses it has to recharge.
And I like the fact that they basically were like, oh, once he does the atomic breath, he's like,
oh, hold on,
it damages him.
They called it heat ray.
Or heat ray, sorry. Well, yeah, because and then obviously because this movie and they did a really good job of really portraying post-war Japan. Yep. Because obviously this movie begins in 1945 near the end of the war, where we have a kamikaze pilot who decides that
he's like, thankfully again for special ed for telling us that it was on the island of Oda, like we couldn't read that.
Oh yes, and we have the main character, he decides to land his plane. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not even gonna try. He lands the plane.
I will give it a shot.
On an island, on a base, and basically the mechanics there were like, "Hey, listen, there's nothing really wrong with your plane." Because and then Godzilla in an earlier form. So I'm guessing Godzilla was like a sea creature.
What?
And that it was because he was small. He was super small. And then
he wasn't super small. He was smaller.
He was like a T-Rex size. I would say like a T-Rex.
Anyway, I think again, like here in America, it's first name first. Japan is
when they say Mr. Shi, that's his last name.
Hold on. Anyway, his name was I'm going to pronounce it Koichi because I've seen a lot of animes. I think
that was actually his first name.
But anyway,
because she only said it like once. She said his name.
Shikishima, I believe is how you pronounce it, but don't.
So apologies, I'm not even going to try to attempt it because sometimes if I saw it like maybe two more times, I'd probably pick up on it. But anyways, he comes back home, and because the war ended, and
here's the thing: since he was a kamikaze pilot and he survived, he was considered a failure.
He was a failure, and comes back. And he was in Tokyo. No, it wasn't Tokyo. It was Hiroshima. Is that what they were at?
No. That Tokyo was also.
Tokyo also got hit too, but
yeah, it was.
Anyways,
hold on. I'm sorry. No, it was
like where his family was. They said like the flames hit, and that was the bombs that. It was an air raid. It was an air. Well,
hold on. But the thing was I don't know how close those places are to actual Tokyo, but I know.
Well, it was like probably the after.
Hiroshima, and Nagasaki.
Nagasaki. It might have been one of those two, or it might have been like off like a nearby city or village that was hit by the rays or hit by the atomic.
The guy who directed Gareth Edwards, who directed Godzilla 2014, he said he went to the screening of the film and said, "This is what a Godzilla movie should be like."
Well, maybe he should make a movie like that.
He did. He made Godzilla.
No, he's about the director, the American version.
Yes, the director. He said he was asked because it said described a feeling of jealousy while watching it. Then he said that
there was a couple scenes. I don't know if you heard me. I said nope. When they were like in the little wooden boat, and he was like, "Nope, not that. Nope." No, because
I love how they blew up in his face, and now he's just started healing up. Like,
oh, that was cool. I like the CG on that. That was it was CG, but it was really good. It looked organic.
The only slight issues I had with the CG, again, with that budget, you're not gonna have It
wasn't Power Rangers, man. It wasn't that bad. Okay, yeah, there was a couple wide shots of him standing. They looked kind of bad.
Well, no, not really. I'm not sure Godzilla himself was fine.
Was it a suit actor or was it fully CG?
I'm pretty sure it was CG.
Was he fully CG? Because obviously some of the scenes where he's like this and stuff, and he was like swinging, and it was obviously CG. But no, some of those scenes where he's walking. There was a scene where
they had all these soldiers on this boat. You kind of tell how they just kind of copy and pasted.
Oh yeah.
Again, that's like whatever. Again, budget $11 million. You're not gonna have the budget that for those. And like the fish looked a little off. So again, whatever.
I mean, where's your reference? Where have you found fish that have died from
Google images? Don't at me, bro.
Don't at me, bro. No, so here's the thing, and you might be asking yourself, well, wait, how can this movie have made, so when you convert yen to American dollars, it costs $11 million. How is this movie so damn good?
Oh, hey, you know what?
$11 million, and
it got the name -1 because Japan was already devastated by World War II.
Well, yeah, I kind of figured that's what the name was entitling.
Basically, with all the damage that Godzilla caused, it brought them to in the negative.
Yeah.
So
that's why it's called Godzilla Minus One, which I thought was an interesting.
Shut up.
I thought that was a really interesting take on the title. So just calling it Godzilla, because Shin Godzilla was like, I think, modern times, like it took place in modern Japan, But yeah, so and he decides, the girl. So he finds.
First of all, Godzilla's a dick, man. For doing that, but of course.
So yeah. So anyways, there's a scene where they're doing atomic testing somewhere in the ocean, and so he gets hit with it. I don't know if they were attacking him directly or he just happened to be there. But there was a quick scene where they were showing like before they started saying monster attacks, he got hit with an atomic because he was 100 times the size.
I'm saying
he got hit with a gun.
Unless you're thinking of the Zilla movie where.
Nope. In this movie, there was a short, like the transition scenes when they transitioned when he went home.
Oh shit, that was his heart sinking.
Yeah, I figured you kind of.
Oh, I'm sorry, nerd. I'm not listening to Godzilla.
I mean, the shape of his heart. That was the shape of a Godzilla.
No, actually, Godzilla in Japan. Oh, shut up, nerd. No, I'm just saying because it's here a spoiler thing. It says film ends on the same note that Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monsters all out attack, does. In that film, Godzilla's heart is still beating after his body is destroyed. Yeah,
and I read so I was like, we're in the theater, and I was like, okay, let me look and see if there's after credit scene, and they said there's not. And the director said that he felt like the ending speaks for itself. It can continue so obviously, if they want to make a sequel, they can. Now, here's the thing. The only thing that bugs me about most Godzilla movies.
The reason they said Godzilla as actual CG, but is
he is CG. Okay.
CG, but was meant to be reminiscent of the classic suitmation technique, where basically the person in a
person in a suit. That might explain why some of the scenes, like when he's walking, look kind of goofy because it's CG, so it looks super realistic. See, when it's in a suit, I know it's a suit, so when it moves weird, I don't notice it because you're not immersed in this ridiculousness of this guy walking around a miniature set of miniature buildings and knocking them over and having a blast doing it. You know what I'm saying? But no, the plot usually Godzilla movies, the plot with the human story is usually not that great. I'm gonna say if they make a sequel to this, I would really like to see if they continue these characters. So the guy, the main character, the pilot, ends up running into this woman who has a kid, but it's not her kid. She got the kid from another woman who begged her to save her kid because she died. And so she ends up basically forcing herself like in his place, and they basically just like stay together.
You almost say force herself on him, but not that way.
Well, I mean, like she just decides to stay there and take advantage of the situation, and then they're both, and then he gets a job pulling up the mines that were dropped in the ocean during the war. So it's like really pays really well because they could die doing it, and they raised the kid. So the movie did it go to 48? Did it go to 1948? Was it the last year? 47. So it goes like 3 years after the war, 3 or 4 years after the war ended, and so the kid's kind of grown up and everything, and they've kind of just like they're together, like they should be married, and then like he keeps having dreams because what happened is like the mechanics were like, hey, you need to go shoot him, you're a pilot, and he freezes, doesn't shoot, and then all the mechanics except for one get killed, who then comes back and saves his life because he had planned, and it was kind of telegraphed a little bit. I was like, okay, he's going to sacrifice himself to kill Godzilla. So either two things are going to happen. Either he is going to do it, it doesn't work.
Because Godzilla was a dick and like hurt his squeeze.
And
then you find out she's a bigger dick because also she's like, hey, I'm hiding in this hospital. Oh, by the way.
Well, the thing is she probably was unconscious, and then when she woke up, she's still in Telegram. You have to remember, this is the 40s, man. They don't have the internet. There's no Snapchat.
You don't know that.
It's
Japan.
It's Japan. That's true. They probably had Gundams too by that. But no,
actually
they do.
In Japan, they actually do have.
They do have a Gundam.
Life-size Gundam.
I know they do. Talking about 1940. They probably did.
I mean, I'm still waiting for all those tanks to form like a Megazord. Which then, like I told you, if that happened, I would have walked like, no, fuck this, I'm out.
You'd have walked out if they did something ridiculous and had like a robot transform.
If those tanks turned into one big giant fucking robot, I'd be like, yeah, nope, I didn't come to see Power Rangers. I'm out.
No, but the acting was very good. It was very good, and the music, yes, it pulled. So you know how you pull the heartstrings. You know how you pull nostalgic music.
I'm not like I said. I told you about the roar, which I found on IMDb. That basically they didn't do a new roar.
It's the old one.
It's the old one
mixed with the
play through loudspeakers, and then some, because you could actually hear like the Godzilla roar towards the end of the roar. But
so that was the biggest problem with that.
There was I'm not gonna lie. There was like a scene, I think it was during like the big battle at the end where they were trying to blow him up and sink him and bring him back up,
which is a weird plan, but it was kind of working because you could see he was freezing.
That dude,
that was what they were trying to do, freeze him.
Oh, that dude had incredible
if you
hair.
want his hair. His hair was
Mr. NATO
or NATO. But yeah, he was the mastermind. He was a ex Navy. He was an ex Navy engineer, a research engineer.
Anyway, but like there's like a time there where you could hear like the music playing. I'm not gonna lie, it sounded like exactly like this kind of music.
This straight up when they started moving the tanks and Godzilla. Oh, that was straight up Godzilla theme song right there. That was straight from the. I mean, obviously it was probably like updated, with modern, synthesization and music, but there was like even when he first attacked the first town and was stomping around and started playing the Godzilla, that was straight up his theme, straight up. I mean, and then of course, the main character decides that he's gonna he feels bad for what happened because he didn't obviously. I think if he had attacked, he would have gotten killed anyways. They all would have died anyways. And I think the mechanic guy, I think he realized that even if he had attacked and shot at the monster Godzilla like the other mechanic had asked him to do, they would have all died. So in retrospect, they at least survived. So they get the new Phantom local fighter, I think that's what it's called. And he's supposed to use it to fly around and try to distract him and get him out in the water for their plan to work. And he decides put this bomb in here because his mouth is his weak spot. I'm gonna throw a bomb straight into his mouth.
Yeah, basically you get destroyed from
and destroy from the inside. And so he's like, I'm gonna finish the job that I should have done years ago. And the guy says, nope, this plane has an ejector seat, man. You pull this right here and pop you out. He's like, I want you to live.
When they're like going through like the rubble and like using the Geiger meters to for the radiation.
Yeah, because there was high radiation in the area.
Did you see the trike?
The trike?
They're because you see like a.
I guess I wasn't paying attention to any details on the ground, but.
Last time because they actually made a reference. They made a point of like showing it. Evidently, that's actually based on a real thing.
Oh, from the war?
Yes.
So I did read that this movie had a lot of references and a lot of imagery to the war.
It's based on something called Shin's tricycle, which is, I believe, in a museum in Japan.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
because when Godzilla was invented, it was always Godzilla because he was created with the atomic bomb. In the original 1955 film, Godzilla was created from the atomic bomb going off and being tested. And so Godzilla's in Japan, he's always been a reference to those bombs that dropped. Like that mankind created Godzilla with the atomic.
I'm not gonna read anymore because it's depressing. But if you want to just
Oh, I get an idea what you're talking about. Yeah, it's probably messed up.
No. Okay, I'm sorry.
He's distracted.
No, but look up Shin's tricycle.
It's probably depressing.
It is.
But yeah, I like this movie. I
would give it a 4.5.
I almost never give a movie 5. I'm gonna give this movie a 5.
See, I will never give any movie a 5 because I don't believe in perfection.
Well, here's the thing. I don't even consider 5 a perfection, but like I cannot find anything to fault it.
Well, I said I
can't find anything.
You always have like your slight nitpicks, and I said just like the CGI.
I don't have any nitpicks.
Well, no, just some of the movies you have like, on occasion. As I said, for me, the CGI in the boat is just one of those things where it's cost effective. Well,
I didn't even notice it. I probably did subconsciously because I know that's the technique they use for producing. Like they do that in crowd scenes too.
Well, yeah, like I said,
why are they going to spend the money to try to produce
It's nothing new, but you guys see like one person move a rock a certain way, and you see, and
then they mirror. Yeah.
I guess. Same thing with the fish. It wasn't distracting for me. It wasn't
the first time it happened. I was like, the fuck are those?
I think
first time it happened, I didn't get what it was. Like, what is going on?
It wasn't necessarily like when they were kind of popping up at first, but when you had like a whole bunch of them popping up, it's like, okay, now you can kind of see.
The second time it happened, I was like, oh, the fish popping up is so they died from the radiation from Godzilla. Okay.
Well, that was fun.
Okay, now I understand what's going on here.
In the movie, they were actually pronouncing it Godzilla, but I believe wasn't it first like
Gojira.
It was Gojira. Because I remember. I know when like
it's well. I
know in the '98 movie they actually said that and basically one of the characters mispronounced it as Godzilla, but I know.
I think Gojira and Godzilla. I think Godzilla is just the English pronunciation of Gojira. I think. Don't quote me on that. Somebody who's probably more of a Godzilla nerd than I am is probably going to come in the comments. Oh, you're totally wrong on that. Gojira. That's like saying it's like in Dragon Ball Z. That's like in the Japanese version. It's Saiyajin because you add Jin to the end of everything. But in American version we call it Saiyan. So I mean, he's like nerd. Yeah, I liked the movie. The music was fire. Like the music really got you ripped up. And I mean, there was some moments where I was sitting there like, fucking dirt in here, man. What the fuck? Getting kind of dusty in there, you know. But yeah, you called it though, because you said that. I was like, when his blast went off and in the city and the shockwave, like, of course there's a shockwave, of course, because he basically shooting out an atomic bomb is what he's firing. That's why it's called the atomic breath. Even though I know it's called heat ray in the movie, that's what they refer to. But it's atomic bomb. I get it now.
You know, I liked when she
and she's like, boop,
pushes him into the alleyway, and like, poof.
I was like, she dead. Yeah. And you were like, nah, man, she could survive. She did.
And you know that comes to the point. Who's bigger dick, Godzilla for doing that, or her for like, hey?
Well, I look at it this way: she got knocked the fuck out, and she was probably like, you know, they didn't know who she was. They ID'd her, and then she woke up, and she's like, "What happened? Oh, you're okay, ma'am. You know, you got severe brain damage. You're severe, whatever."
I'm trying to figure out.
And she finally said, "I need to let him know I'm alive," but because he's probably falling apart without me. And so she sends a telegram.
What was like the name he said? Because I know it was. I don't know if she sent it to like the neighbor or if she said. Did she not say Mr. Or did he say Mrs.?
They were calling her Mrs. because they thought that they were married.
Well, no, because when he said, he was asking like if it was her, like Mrs. whatever.
Yeah, I guess I didn't catch it. I'll have to watch it again and pay attention.
Well, I'll watch it without someone actually reading you.
Yeah, I was having reading it for me. Yeah, it was a really, really good movie. I liked it. Like I said, I don't really give movies 5 out of 5. I know I do sometimes nitpick movies, and I think it just comes down to like my expectations are just too high, and then I get disappointed, and then I get pissed off because you can do better. I feel like you can do better. Because like when you have a movie, okay, here's an example. You have a movie that costs, how much do the marbles cost?
I don't know.
$250 million. $250 million.
Oh yeah, here you go. That's my Super 7.
Actually,
it's not. Don't worry.
It's not that bad in price.
Yeah, well, not price, but yeah, September of next year.
Oh, plenty more about it.
Oh no, I
he's like already pre-ordered it.
No, I actually have 3 figures that 2 of them were supposed to be out this year, but like, oops, we're gonna
push them to next year. Yeah.
Fuck you.
But I think a lot of my expectation comes from like such a high budget. I go, oh, so high budget. This movie should be like pretty much perfect in terms of writing, acting, visuals. And then we get certain movies come out, and you're like, what the hell did I just watch? Like The Flash, for example, which costs over $300 million, and the best they could do was PlayStation 2 graphics. Like what? But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I don't know what. Oh, there's Aquaman, I guess, and then Wonka. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if he wants to see Wonka. I do.
Oh no, I said I was okay with seeing.
I don't know if there's anything else, so we might not have any more. I think that might be the last 2 movies. Oh, there was one movie we saw that's coming out, that the wrestling movie.
Yeah,
that's coming out on the 22nd.
About the Von Erich family.
Yes, we might.
That's also a tragedy into it on itself.
Yes, we might do a review on that one as well. So, but otherwise, this might be like we're wrapping up the year, and one thing we're gonna start this year that I think we talked about it last year, but we didn't do it. We're gonna do like a recap of all the movies that we reviewed and if our opinions changed. And obviously, some of the movies we just saw are gonna be still fresh in our mind, and our opinions might be skewed because we just saw it. But I'm not throwing this out here right now. I'm gonna say right now, out of what we saw this year, I'd say Godzilla Minus One is like on top 5, if not top 3.
The hell, I can't even remember all of them. Did you see?
So I'll have a list together what we saw, and we'll do we'll do it at the studio.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching, and if you support us on Patreon, obviously. Mr. J needs money, for those of you who want to give Mr. J money. And
I like crisp, clean $100 bills.
Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time.
Okay.